Now, one of the other mechanics that can affect a duel is the use Soulstone ability. Now, Soulstones are vital in Malifaux, and they are critical during the game. Typically, only masters and henchmen can use Soulstones. However, there are certain minions or other models in the game that can use Soulstones to affect their duel totals. So, in this example, I'm going to show a master-on-master combat, which is often very Soulstone intensive, and this can force the combat totals very high, as you can see. So, I'm going to start with Lady Justice here, who is taking a Greatsword Strike, starting with a CB of 7 RAM and a range of 2, against the enemy master, or the Resurrectionist master, Seamus, who is going to be defending with his defense of 4. So, just like any other melee strike duel, both players flip a card, and they combine their duel totals to that card. So, in this case, Lady Justice has flipped an 11 mask, which gives her a total of 18 RAM mask, while Seamus has flipped a 13, which gives him a duel total of 17 book, but the book doesn't really do anything in this case of defense. So it's 18 to 17. Seamus is going to get hit by this attack. He does not want to get hit by this attack, so the first thing he's going to do is go into his control hand and see if he has a card that he can cheat. In this case, he doesn't have anything higher than the 13, so he's going to leave that card the way it is, and he is going to discard a Soulstone to try to beat that duel total of 18. So I'm going to wipe off one of the Soulstone bullets here, and I'm going to flip a new card off of the top of my Fate deck. Now that new card, instead of cheating in over that 13, it's now going to add to that total. So you can see now I'm at 13 plus 9, which is 22, plus his defense of 4, I'm at 26. So now Lady Justice is missing with her strike. She also has the same opportunity to cheat Fate using her control hand. She does not have the cards to beat an 11. Instead, she is going to now... So she has the opportunity to cheat Fate and use a Soulstone. And it's always in that order. You always cheat Fate first, and then you burn a Soulstone. You cannot burn a Soulstone first and say, oh, I want to cheat Fate right after that. So I'm going to burn one of her four Soulstones, putting her at 3. I'm going to flip a new card, add it to the total. That is 14 plus 7, or 21. Trying to beat Seamus' total of 26. So unfortunately, even though Lady Justice burned a Soulstone, she did not beat Seamus' duel total, and therefore the shot has missed. Let's say, for example, though, that the shot hit. I'm going to pretend that neither Lady J or Seamus burned a Soulstone, and we went with the damage as is. This is going to be a difference of 1, so back on our chart, we're at a 1 negative flip, but Seamus has the ability Hard to Win 2, which is going to move that over 2 columns to the left, while Lady Justice has her Greatsword has a damage flip receives plus, which is going to move the column over 1 to the right. So it's going to be -1, -3, back to -2, or 3 cards. And I'm sorry if that went so fast. We can go over that really slowly. So again, not counting the initial card flip, Lady Justice beat Seamus by 1. That's a 1 negative flip. Seamus has Hard to Win 2. So I'm going to add those 2, or making it 3 cards plus the original card. But Lady Justice is also using a Greatsword, so I'm going to take that back down to -2, or 3 cards for damage. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to select the weak damage here, which is going to be 3 plus her Ram critical strike trigger, or 4 wounds to Seamus. Now, one of the other things that you can do with a Soulstone is if you discard a Soulstone while you're taking damage, you can do what is called a damage prevention flip. And my reference card here has a prevention chart here. where you discard a Soulstone, and depending on what you flip, this is the amount of wounds that is mitigated when discarding the Soulstone, to a minimum of 1, with the exception if you flip the red Joker, then no damage at all sustained. So I'm going to have Seamus go ahead and burn a Soulstone. He's going to mitigate Severe, which is 3 damage. Although, in this case, so he's going to take 1 damage because Lady Justice dealt 4 to him. In addition, there are 2 other things that you can do with Soulstones. For example, you can perform a 1 action when it is your Soulstone user's turn to activate to perform a healing flip. And the healing flip is going to be very similar to the damage prevention flip, except that you're doing it on your own activation. You might do that when you've suffered a bunch of wounds and regretted not trying to mitigate damage at the time. You do it during your own activation, spending a 1 action, and you can mitigate 1, 2, 3, or all. Or in the case of Black Joker, you will mitigate none or heal none of the damage. The last thing you can do with Soulstones doesn't actually have to do with your master. It has to do with reflipping the initiative card to see who gets to activate first. So if you burn a Soulstone to reflip your initiative card, you get to flip a new card for initiative that replaces that initial initiative flip. You may only do this once per turn. And again, it does not add to the total of that initiative flip, it simply replaces a card. You can do this when you have no Soulstone users on the field, or whether or not you have Soulstone users on the field. You can use one if you do, but even after your master is dead, for example, you can still use that your remaining Soulstones to try to reflip initiative.